Okay, hello everybody, once more, and welcome back to the Airfix starter kit Spitfire on Pete's Plastic Playground. So picking up from last time, here we are. We've got the two fuselage halves stuck together, the pilot sitting nicely in his seat, and, and eventually the propeller in position as well, and it will go round as well, which is quite nice. A bit tight at the moment, but it will spin. So there we are, we're ready to move on to the next stage, which is just turning to the instruction sheet. We've completed section 3 now, and it's on to section 4, which is where things really do start to come together. Here we are. So section 4, the wings, the rear elevators and the rudder all to stick on, as well as the exhausts and the cockpit canopy. Now what we're going to do first, I think, was we'll do the main wings, and so we'll need to cut off parts B27, B19, B23, and part of that process is going to be painting the underside of the what will be the cockpit in black, and inside the wheel wells in probably the light colour that the rest of the underside of the aeroplane is painted in, so that when you look inside the wheel wells you'll be able to see that it's all been finished and painted. So let's make a move with that. So it's for the main wings, I'm going to just cut off the main section here with my knife. Put it there as well. Tie it up against there and tie it up against here. Okay, so that bit we're going to paint black, and then the upper surfaces of the wings will stick onto there. Oh, that whole bit's come off. That's interesting. So just take that from there. So there we have parts B27, which is the main part of the underside of the wing, and then part B19 there. Oh no, sorry, B23 for this side, and B19 for that side. So that's how that's all going to assemble. So I'm going to pause for a minute now, paint this section black, and then paint just in here, just where the wheel wells are. I'm just going to paint those in that light aircraft colour. Okay, so I'll pause you there. Okay, hi again. So there we are. I've painted these sections of the wing, the underneath of the lower section, which would be visible through the top of the cockpit, like if you can see through there. So that's been painted black to finish that off, and then the inside of the upper surfaces of the wing, which will be visible when you look up through the wheel well, has been painted in the same colour as the underneath of the aeroplane. So there we are. That's how that looks now. I think the inside of this circle where the undercarriage will sit needs painting in that colour as well in due course. But for now, what I'm going to do next is to glue the two wing surfaces together, and then fix them to the model itself. Now, just running around the edge of these parts, I want to make sure that there are no surplus bits and pieces that will inhibit the fit, the two sides going together. So just giving any surplus bits a little file off. That bit's good. However, look, there's an extra bit on there that from where it was connected to the sprue, so that can go. that won't affect the fit, but I'll do it anyway. Another bit on there, so I think we're pretty well ready to go together now. So there we are. We'll take, you see how those parts go together like that. So what I'm going to do is get some trusty glue on my cocktail stick and just put I think what I'm going to do is apply some where it actually touches. So so if you look there, I think the answer is to put some in along there, and up along the front edge of the wing. And I'm going to just scratch off that little bit of paint that's gone where we need to put glue. You remember I said before that the glue will actually, the paint will stop the glue from sticking. So here we go. I'm sorry all the sort of camera positions keep changing and so on. As much as I'm sort of doing this as a sort of how-to thing, this is the first time I've ever done a video like this, and so I'm finding out the best way to do it all myself with the limited resources that I've got. I've got a little sort of tripod for the camera, which is in actual fact my mobile phone. So it's all fairly rudimentary, no professional camera setups or anything like that here. So right, let's just pick that up carefully. And oh, is that the wrong section? Yeah, sorry, I was doing it the wrong way around. So put that on there like that. Ooh, bit of glue. I was a bit generous with the glue on that one. Be careful not to get any glue on the actual surfaces, because it will show through when you paint it, like I've just done there. I'm going to wipe off with a little bit of kitchen roll. There we are. Wipe that off before that can become a hacky mess. So there we have that famous wing shape starting to appear now on the model. So isn't that lovely? The famous elliptical wing shape of the Spitfire. So I'm going to paint the other side, stick the other side on now. Forgot the cocktail stick then. Doopy-doopy-doo. Still some glue on there, but that would be okay. Some paint rather. Not too much on there. Good. Okay, so let's now stick that section on. These models have come a long way in terms of the detail over the years. Nowadays we have lots of lovely recessed panel lines to make the model more authentic. Production techniques have allowed this to happen. It means that you just get that bit extra surface detail, things like fuel tank filler points, machine gun servicing points and so on. Those little holes there are where the machine guns would be in real life, and then correspondingly there are the slots there where you can open up the covers, service the guns, and put the ammunition in. And you can also see there's quite good detail on the on the flaps. So yeah, it's really nice. So right, I'm going to again pause there, because I'm going to prepare the wing now to stick onto the main fuselage section. So there we are. That's where we left off with the wings assembled and ready to fit onto the fuselage of the Spitfire. So it's time to apply some more glue, and this time we're going to put some glue on that exposed face of the wing root there, along there down the fuselage of the plane there, around back onto the other wing roots, around, and then underneath where the engine goes. I'm going to have to paint, remove yet more paint from here. I should learn to be a bit more careful with the paint, I think. There we are. As I say, just keep doing this, and it just helps the glue to stick the parts together. blow some extra bits off there. So back to the cocktail stick and the glue. So on there, along that side, along a tiny bit more glue needed. Need free hands sometimes. Tiny bit more glue on there. And under where the engine goes, and then along the fuselage and on the inside of the back section there. Now I love doing this bit because what you do, hold the plane upside down, offer the wing in from the rear, and so let that section that goes under the engine contact first, and then it all sort of snaps together with those halves of the wing just contacting in there nicely, and then that section just clicks in, and it really is a sort of good snap fit, really nice. So just need a little pinch in there. You see a gap's opened up there. I just need to pinch that closed quickly before that becomes a problem. And there, that's amazing. That's a really good tight fit of the main wing onto the fuselage. You know what, sometimes you have to put fillers in these models when you're painting them, but on this occasion there's absolutely none necessary. It's such a good fit, so really happy with that. So now it's starting to look like a Spitfire look, that wonderful wing shape, and ready to fly almost. So great. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is stick on the rear elevators, part B32 and B34. So holding the plane in the same orientation as the instructions. So the one on this side is part B32. So look for sprue B. Part 32 is this one. So let's just, oh, I know, I'll put the lid on the glue. That'll stop it drying up. B32. There it comes. That's off nicely. Now again, there's a big chunk of extra plastic on there that we don't really want, so it just needs trimming off best we possibly can with that knife, being very super careful, kids. Probably best to get a grown-up to do that if you can, or if you are a grown-up, don't let the children watch you cut yourself. Just file that off nice and smooth. It's quite nasty actually. That's quite a big chunk of extra plastic on there, which in real life would be about 4 inches deep, I should imagine. Actually, it's a good time to talk about the scale of these things. For the benefit of the youngsters, I'm sure everybody knows this, that the reason it's called a 1/72 scale kit is that it's 72 times smaller than a real life one. So for every 72 of these, if you put 72 Spitfires, model Spitfires this size in a line, it would be the same length as one real one. So it's 1/72 scale. So that's how that works. And then you can get bigger models. For instance, my favourite scale to work in really is 1/48. So they're a bit bigger. So a 1/48 Spitfire might be about that long, which is a little less fiddly for people like me to build. So there we are. That's we'll call that done. And then this one has got to go on here like that. There's a little slot, and it will fit in there quite nicely. Oh, I always like to put the bits in first to try them fit before I glue them, and again that's absolutely like a glove. So a teeny weeny bit of glue. Oh, crikey, a bit too much, but it's a bit like toothpaste, you can't put it back in the tube unfortunately. So splodge a nice bit on there, get hold of that wing, and just pop it in like that. So there's that side done. I'll take the other wing from the sprue. Lid back on the glue. I'm quite a messy worker unfortunately. You see some of these YouTube videos of people showing you how, oh, there's a spider. Can you see that little spider creeping along the workbench? I don't know if you can pick him out, can you? Airfix spider. Okay, so let's try and get this one off a bit more cleanly. He's alright, he's stopped on one of the yellow lines. I don't suppose you can see him, but so there we are. Let's just, that was better that time, not so much plastic on that one. That's good. Okay, and then we'll stick this little wing, this little tail section, elevator, call it what you will. We'll go that side, and that fits in there lovely. Undo the glue, put it on the stick. Just put that in there like that. Really nice fit. That's absolutely wonderful. Good. So there we are. Spitfire coming on really nicely. Now, I think the last job for this section is going to be, let's move the stick out of the way, the rudder. That's part number 25, so just cut that off from the sprue like that, and trim off any excess bits. There we are, and that fits in. Can you see in the rear of the tail the vertical stabilizer there, the tail fin, call it what you will. There's a little groove, and the rudder will sit in that groove, and you can have it positioned at an angle if you want, as if the plane is on the ground and it's just the rudder's off center. But I'm going to put this one off centered, put it centered, just to make life simple. Here we are. Oh, Spider's back. I think he might climb up on the Spitfire in a minute. There we are. So we'll just stick that in there, and that's the rudder in position now. It really does look the business now. Okay, so I'm going to leave you now. In the next section, the next edition, there's going to be a few fixtures and fittings put on. There's going to be an aerial, there's going to be some exhaust pipe ports there, there's going to be the undercarriage, and there's going to be some air intakes for the engine and for the oil cooler, all to go on, some fairly fiddly little bits, and then after that I think it's time to paint. I'm going to put the undercarriage on after we've painted, because I think that would be the best thing to do. So the main undercarriage and the tail wheel still to go in. So there we are, Spitfire coming on really nicely now. And if you're building your Spitfire along with this, then I hope you're enjoying yours as much as I'm enjoying mine. Good, bye for now.